warrior, we knew all about the Epstein saga. Do we know how deep it went? Well, we had a pretty good idea several years ago because many of the victims' survivors came forward to relay the information, whether it was to local police, whether it was to FBI, lawyers, but nobody did anything. So we knew what was going on with Epstein for all these years. We had ideas about how it reached into, different governments, things happening at Zorro Ranch, sex trafficking. Hear me out on this one. It's kind of the low-hanging fruit here. On the side, horrific, horrible, right? Because at the Warriors, we fight this, we educate about it, we help vulnerable communities not fall victim to it. But that was just kind of the low-hanging fruit that everybody's grabbed onto. This goes much deeper. Much deeper. And now, many who have spoken about different things, we're a family show. I'll dig a little deeper. I think you know what I mean. We're ostracized, demonetized, deplatformed, crazy conspiracy theorist. And now it's all coming out into the public. And the dominoes are falling. How far will they go? We believe at the Warriors that this Epstein, I don't know what to call it, horror story, doesn't even seem tough enough, is a story of, we'll never really get to the bottom of it. We will never really have those held accountable. You can't just have Ghislaine Maxwell in a country club jail. What about all the men involved? Yes, we've seen a fair amount resigning from their positions, giving weak little I'm sorries, or giving, in the case of Les Wexner, who was testifying this week, and I think he was playing kind of the old man confused card. We like to say in New York, it's kind of the mob mentality, walking around, with your bathrobe and acting a little crazy. His own lawyer telling him to answer the questions, and that he was duped. Yeah, you give the largest single residence in the city of New York for $1, which basically is you're giving a gift, and $1 makes it legal. I never understood that either, but that's what it is. Being married to a lawyer, you pick up on these things. But anyway, we all know this goes much deeper, much more complicit. You actually have Andrew, ex-prince, kicked out of his home, brought away on his 66th birthday to jail. They're back today searching. What are they searching for? Perhaps videos, perhaps documentation. We heard stories about 11, 12, 13-year-old girls in Paris. This is no new news, but at least I'm here to review with you. There's some vindication in that. A lot of talk about it, a lot of people being looked at. A lot more needs to be done. I'm sure this reaches into areas we could never even imagine or write because it's too horrific. But reading some of these files and seeing things that if you said or alluded to them years ago, you were told you were crazy. And what does this matter to the Warriors the most? Because for the survivors, those brave voices that came forward, that went to Washington repeatedly in the last few years, who helped push through the Epstein Files Transparency Act, who had to put up with the administration giving out binders, not talking about it, all kinds of different things. At least they're saying to themselves, because I've spoken to some of them, finally, we're believed. Finally, the public is understanding. Finally, as a whole, we're opening up about sex trafficking, labor trafficking, exploitation, what it really is. Because you know and I know it's a very complex issue. It's not, black and white. Very different nuances and different. But here's the thing. We all have to be aware of this. We live in a different kind of country in 2026. We have a lot of things happening. I'm sitting in the middle of New York City with a 34-year-old mayor that told you exactly what he was going to do. So why is everybody in the media now jumping on, acting so surprised, that he wants to get rid of police, not hire new police. He wants emergency funds, for the trans community because hospitals stopped supporting. There's so many lawsuits. Okay, it wasn't even a moral issue. It was just lawsuits, and basically they weren't getting any funding from the Trump administration. That was cut out. So it's always got to follow the money trail. And the streets here are filthy. There's still snow. I mean, I grew up here. There was always snow on the ground, but I don't remember it being like so filthy dirty and cars parked all over. And don't tell me to leave. Why should I leave my beautiful New York City? There's nothing like New York City, despite everything I'm telling you. It is still the place. Everybody should visit New York City once in their lifetime. And these people tell you exactly what they're going to do. The victims of Epstein, Maxwell, and their gang, they all came forward. Many of them, not all. Many of them came forward. They told you exactly what was happening, and nobody took them seriously. We had the mayor, making this analogy, as I'm digressing all over, but he told you exactly what he was going to do, right? And he's doing it. So why is everybody shocked? So here's what I want to say to you. In 2026, when it's trafficking, they're telling us exactly what they're going to do. There is no accountability with big tech right now, hiding behind Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. So they have free reign to make money, addict our kids. That is why that lawsuit going on right now is about addicting kids, a product liability. They put out a product that they knew could harm children, the target audience. We have all the internal memos. We have documentation. We have the whistleblowers. We have former employees, lawyers who worked at these companies. There's proof. I don't know how they're getting around this one. But I dare say that they'll be willing to put out something like for age verification. I don't know how that will really work, to be honest with you. I spoke to a few tech people recently asking them about this, and they're not sure either, and I trust them. So we'll see where that goes. And in their book, Pay a Few $1 billion lawsuits, focuses on AI. Let's move on to the next. I mean, these people have no soul or no shame, right? And until they're held accountable, we are all the guinea pigs. But the good news is in 2026, we have our warrior parents out in the LA court with this big tech trial, the first of its kind. There are 2 other trials. One is going on right now in New Mexico. One will be happening in Northern California. And lawsuits across the country and trials are set up for the next 6 months across the United States. But we, the people, must protect all children in some way, fashion, form, even if it's just repeating what I'm saying right now on your platforms, even if it's reading a story and sharing the information with a family member. If you have children, grandchildren, obviously working on devices, putting them down. You'll never totally get rid of them, but putting them down an hour a day, doing some creative fun or older kids reading or assigning chores. There's so many different studies out. Children who grew up with chores are more organized in life and end up smarter. I mean, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but there's so many studies. Dads who read to their children, various studies on that resonates more than moms. And they have more of the children a comprehension. There's so much good stuff there. We have so many parents getting involved, signing up for things. We were out today. That's why I've got my Warriors outfit on in the freezing rain here in New York City, doing what we do best, which is Warriors work on the streets, on the ground. But join us. It is overwhelming. It is complex. But if you stay in your own home, your own community, you will make a difference. I guarantee you. That's what we work on behind the scenes with the Warriors. Community creates change. Let it snowball across the United States. Let us protect our children. Why are they the guinea pigs? Why is there a war on for our children? Unacceptable. But I leave you with 2026 is the year of change. So join us. Honor our hashtag, Community Creates Change. Sign up. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Because a lot of people watch it and they don't subscribe. And it's free. And just hit the subscribe button. You're helping us out at the Warriors. When we put videos out, hit the little like button. Put a comment. Ask a question. Look at the interviews we do. We focus on all kinds of people, from educators to law enforcement to ones who run organizations to survivors to, we've got a whole slew of different things and a whole slew of new interviews coming up. Please help us help the kids. When you wake up each and every day, go out and be a warrior. But before I finish, Epstein, at least we're talking about it. At least Andrew going down. At least victim survivors can say, at least there's some action being taken. Because the Epstein case, as I've pointed out repeatedly, was not only about Epstein Maxwell. It was for the survivor, the whole sex trafficking community, watching power win, money win over vulnerable people. And this is why women and girls don't come forward. And there's boys and men involved in trafficking too. Nobody believes them. Nobody wants to take it on. The justice system isn't designed to help them. It's helping the predator, the trafficker. It's changing. The tide is changing. The pendulum is swinging. I say usually ever so slightly. Now I'm moving it up a notch to the pendulum is slightly swinging back in favor of protecting children. Intervene, prevent, educate, raise awareness, do whatever it takes. Because there is a war on for our children. Join us. Lynn at lynswarriors.org is the email. lynswarriors.org to find news, take actions, understand who represents you in Congress, House.gov, Senate.gov. You can sit behind the computer, right? A couple of minutes. Write to them. This is bothering me in my state, in my community. When I give a take action out, for instance, our Kids Online Safety Act, write to them. Please support Kids Online Safety Act. That's it. That's a take action. That's all we need from you because we have numbers. And all of our child safety bills that they lumped into 18 in Congress that are collecting dust right now, we hear that the Kids Online Safety Act will be marked up early in March, perhaps to go to a vote for end of March before they go on a break again. I feel like Congress is always having breaks. The gold standard of the Kids Online Safety Act was done in the Senate, right? 91-3 passed. Now in the House, just to give you a little background education here, we have 76, I believe, co-sponsors, all bipartisan. Good number. We want to get to 100. That's why we need your help to write to your representatives, because this is how we stack it up and we get more to sign on, because we're convinced they have so much on their plate. They got so many bills being thrown at them, like they'll tune out is the truth rather than focus on. But we want everybody to focus on kids in particular. Kids, families, future adults, American leaders. That's where it's at. So join us at the Warriors. Thank you for all of the support, for sending donations, for supporting in other ways with goods and services, for volunteers when we're out on the streets, for watching these videos and just listening to me. Because I'm a warrior and I want you to be one in your home too. Each and every day when you wake up, you know what I'm going to say? Go out and be a warrior.